The 2022 Sevenstar Round-Britain-and-Ireland Race started on time from the Royal Yacht Squadron Line in Cowes last Sunday. The international fleet got away for the non-stop 1,805-mile race without incident. The infamous Solent tide changed favourably just before the start, and coupled with light headwinds the fleet raced to the east.
This is not a race for novices. This is the toughest race in the Royal calendar, experienced sailors only. Everyone in the fleet has done their miles. Tough racing to get to this point, but for us that's critical in making a safe race.
It's a fantastic sailors race. It's 3 fast nets. It's absolutely brilliant.
It was one of the most incredible races we can have here. It's long, it's tough, it's long, it's cold. You can have some bad weather. Very tricky.
Amazing. It's going to be magical for me.
Sevenstar Round-Britain-and-Ireland Race is for me the ideal offshore race. It's longer than the Fastnet, so you really get into it, yet lots of waypoints, you turn lots of corners, very varied conditions, and it's much more exciting than a transatlantic or something like that.
Really looking forward to doing this race with the team. It's new for me and it's the only time that I will race Medallia with a full crew. I think it's a really challenging race. It's tactical. The weather is difficult, lots of different weather systems. The North Sea is full of tides and gas platforms and traffic and wind farms. There's absolutely everything jam-packed into quite a small course, so why would I not do it?
This could be 2 weeks of racing, and therefore you've got to pace yourself. You typically get tough conditions at some point in this race, a lot of navigational obstacles, and quite often we get a lot of retirements.
The statistics prove it. 25 double-handed entries in the past, only 9 have ever finished. So I like a challenge. Rise to the challenge.
To win in this fleet of double-handed sailors would be incredible because there's some real talent out there, and I think at the moment there's a lot of boats that could take that prize.
The pressure is really going to be on the decision making. The critical thing, where are we going to go when we get off to the south side of the Isle of Wight? Is anybody going to make a break for the French coast, or are they going to stay on the mainland shore and work their way up? Remember, that's not easy. You've got the tidal races, particularly Portland Bill and Start Point, before you get to the Lizard and beyond. So I think yes, they're going to want to be going fast, but they've got to make the right decision if they want to win this race.
It's wishful thinking saying that we aim to win, but I don't like to be lost, so there's really only one way to go, and it's all up to play for.
This is the Sailing World on Water, August 12, 2022. Horonuku has arrived safely in Australia, clearing customs this week in Adelaide after its journey via sea from Auckland over the past month. As sure as the sun rises each day, Landspeed pilot Glenn Ashby was there to meet the containers loaded with every conceivable item required for an outback world record wind-powered Landspeed attempt.
Just here at the freight depot at the moment where the containers have arrived in Adelaide from Auckland. We will basically have to de-van both containers so that the quarantine and customs inspectors can come and have a good walk through the container and inspect everything. I don't see us having any major issues, but you never know with quarantine and customs what they may and may not sort of find. I'll just unscrew it, mate.
It's so hard, mate. Sometimes they might be like, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's ready to go. No, I would look in that cupboard.
Yeah.
You haven't provided adequate space. It's a bit of a gamble.
For the sake of 10 minutes. Extremely pleased that it's got here in one piece, and really exciting to have it here on Australian soil. Hopefully we pass the quarantine inspection in good shape. Fingers crossed that we get the tick of approval. We've just had the biosecurity check on those containers. We've pulled everything out, they've gone through everything. Fortunately, we've been given the thumbs up that everything's A-OK with that, so that's really fantastic news for the program. Now it's time to load everything back into those containers and get them all strapped down again, and we'll basically be looking at trucking those containers to get set up at Lake Edna really soon. So fantastic news for the program.
Lighter winds this morning at Cowes Week increased to give competitors another great day on the water, predominantly in breezes of 10 to 18 knots.
It's today at Cowes, day 5 already, and it's featuring the youth of all the sailors here. But when we woke up this morning, it was grey, it was a little bit breezy, maybe a bit of rain again, very much similar to the previous days. But I think there was one thing up the sleeves of the race organisers.
Well, there certainly was. There was one big change, and we'll come on to that a little bit later. What struck me as quite interesting about that change, just to tease it out a little bit, is that it didn't seem to matter whether you're a rookie or whether you're a rock star. You were going to be challenged by this new move.
Okay, well, you went out in the water pretty early to find out. Let's hear what you had to say.
For any of the crews that were looking forward to some downwind action, well, day 5 was their day, because it started with a downwind start. In fact, for everybody, the leg went well into the eastern Solent. And for the asymmetric boats, they had a day where there were some very long downwind legs. And some nice waves and some nice gusts to surf down. The only slight catch was that to have such nice extended downwind legs, you had to do a long upwind leg as well, at least one.
Well, that's what it's like out on the water, Matt, but back ashore here, the big thing really was the wind behind going east, all the courses set to the east.
Indeed, yes. I mean, downwind starts are pretty unusual, aren't they? Unless, I mean, at club racing you tend to get them a fair bit. But it's one of the things that actually makes Cowes Week quite special. But I suppose what a lot of people might be asking, if they haven't done it before, is why would you start downwind? And that is, it's the tide. The tide has been building all week, and it's been getting later and later and later. So when the fleets went out there, it was going to the east all morning, and quite strongly as well. And the breeze wasn't that strong either. So if the race committee had tried to set the fleets off in the normal direction off to the west, they would have been pushing against the tide, and they would barely have got away from the line. So it does happen in Cowes Week, and we do see it, and it's quite a challenge, as we found out.
It certainly is a challenge, because it's that timing, where how far up tide you go, what time do you turn and then make for the line, and we saw that right throughout the day. But let's go to our feature class, which is in fact the first race of the day. It was in IRC 0 and IRC 1. They're racing for the Britannia Trophy, and they're out there pretty early.
16 seconds to go as we go towards our line. You can see the light grey of the line just to the left of Matt's rib there, the end of the end of picture. So
8 seconds to go.
That yellow mark completely off the line, as Matt was pointing out earlier.
No kites going up yet.
Here comes the hoist.
Yes.
Conservative start, but look at Fargo. Beautiful start for them. Really nicely timed. If they can get this set, 0R in the middle, beautifully set, and absolutely ripping downwind.
Cracking start by Lapropons, actually, on the other side of Fargo.
Really nice. Look at them struggling. It's a couple of boats here trying to get the kites filled. A bit lighter, a bit less breeze than we were expecting for this start, but Fargo, middle of picture here, grey hull, absolutely ripping downwind.
They got that timing absolutely spot on Fargo. They managed to create the impossible, really. They managed to find themselves a hole, get the timing right, and then the big risk for Fargo then was that people would roll over the top of them and just steal all their wind, but they just managed to hold that gap, which was very impressive for one of the smaller boats in the fleet.
Yes, we're watching Larapons, Andrew McIrvine's lovely boat, great start for them, and we believe Eddie Warden sailing on board there, ex-chief of Royal Ocean Racing Club. And look at Schuss now with its huge Jenica just powering up. Oh,
absolutely beautiful, overpowered.
Sheet on, boys.
See the main flogging, you can see the ripples through the black of the mainsail there on the right of picture, easing.
What they're trying to do, sorry to butt in there, but what they're trying to do, the reason they're pressing up is that they've gone down past the guard ship, and Fargo has gone to leeward of the guard ship and is likely going to lose their breeze, and those two big boats realised that they would be better off going to windward, so it was a little bit of a squeeze at the last minute.
Absolutely beautiful pictures. That kite beautifully set. Look at them. They haven't had a single flog since the start of the race. Not a single moment of missed trimming. So absolutely beautiful sailing by them.
So Bertie, you had quite a needle match on Fargo, didn't you, with the other IC37?
It was a long day, Matt. It really was. But you know, you can't get better than two completely evenly matched boats. These two IC37s are real joy to sail, and we've got some great competition with our friends on Aqua, and we were just battling it out for 4 hours. Exhausting.
Which that's what you signed up for, Bertie. It's only because you've had the whole season where you've been sailing around on your own that it feels quite hard.
Yeah, I'm going back to sailing on my own again, actually. It's much easier. But in all seriousness, it was, I think we took a lot away from today. We were boat for boat. I mean, we got ahead of them, stretched our legs a little bit. They got back into us. So the lead changed a little bit, and honestly, we were absolute bow to bow on the finishing line. You could not put a paper between us. Although actually in the end, we just got split on the line. There was a trimaran moored there. One had to go one side, the other had to go the other. We didn't think going down the middle was very sensible. So that's what split us, and in the end there was a bit of line bias to the pin end, which gave it to these guys, but well deserved and no complaints.
Final day of the MOF International European Championship at the Yacht Club Carnac, France.
Well, so we're here in Quiberon for the MOF Europeans, and I think we had a pretty exciting event. We've had all sorts of winds. We've had about 20 knots, 20 to 25 I think. We've also had 15 to 20, which was amazing yesterday. We've also had a very lighter day, which was perfect as a rest day. But no, I'm pretty happy. I think Quiberon delivered.
The boats participating in the 43rd Grohe North Aegean Cup set sail for new beautiful adventures in the North Aegean and the Tyrrhenian Gulf.
It's a real pleasure always to be here. The conditions are fantastic, it's like at 2 o'clock, around 2 o'clock you switch on the wind, and we have some nice wind or sometimes some good bocadura, and so it's such a nice place, and it's always a pleasure to be here. It's a fantastic place. Today it was not so bad. We did some good things, some bad things, but we can do it better. I hope that we will do it better, but it's always a pleasure to be on the water because it's so fantastic.
The fourth day of racing at the very demanding iQFoil Youth and Junior International Games in Torbole, on Garda Trentino, before the final scheduled for Thursday, with the top 10 in each category admitted to the medal series. Here are a few short clips of competitors in the Sevenstar Round-Britain-and-Ireland Race. First we hear from Pip Hare, then we see the food on Tigress, and finally father and daughter sailors, Jim and Ellie Driver on Chili Pepper.
Good morning from Medallia. It's a beautiful day. We're just coming up to the Lizard, and we spent a night really trying to make this boat work. It doesn't like light winds that much. We've got quite a lot of surface area that makes the boat slow, and we struggle to use our foils. But right now, the foils are working, and look who's with us. Just there, that's Ollie and his team, and we're finally starting to make some proper ground on them. With the breeze being up, it's been a brilliant chase though. They got away from us quite early and worked super hard to get it back again. Full day of racing ahead, beautiful conditions, it's all looking good.
Such a big challenge. It's one of the few opportunities to do a big race like this around the UK without doing something like a transatlantic, and it's going to be a good step up from the Fastnet that we did last year. So, me and Dad sailed together. We trust each other so much, bring out the best in each other, we make all the decisions together and we hardly fall out. So it's going to be a long race, it's 3 times as long as the Fastnet. There's going to be lots of navigational problems to overcome with all the TSS's and the shoals and the rocks. Just going around the top of Scotland, around the top of Muckleflugger, which is going to be, well, it's further north than the Capes are south, and especially going around Dover, and it's going to be quite complicated. I think Mum will be incredibly happy when we are around because she's going to be watching Yellow Brick every mile of the race and probably not get as much sleep as we're getting. It's going to be quite tough to get round. So it's been a big adventure to work together and to sail around the Round-Britain and Ireland. It's going to be amazing and I really look forward to it.
The last day of Cows Week featured short, action-packed races in a solid northwesterly gradient wind, culminating in a spectacularly busy finish line at the Royal Yacht Squadron. Here we have the week's highlights.
Who should we be looking for then, other than yours?
The guys at the front of the fleet. I don't want to say who they are because they know who they are. They are brilliant.
Yeah, a couple of boats very early on the line, 1572, that's Brutus.
Very early.
Holding back.
That's it, and we can see them all diving down here, desperately trying to stay the right side of the line before the start gun goes. From our
There's a very brave port tacker here, 86R, that's Fargo. Line clear, well, how well done. And a round of applause here up on the squadron platform for the X1 designs. A lot of port and starboard going on here.
Big duck for 1573, they've got to keep clear.
20, 25 knots, possibly even gusts at 28.
I tell you, Steve, I'm getting more nervous on the shore than I would be on the boat. It's just watching them go around. Yeah.
Is there anything that you can look to that you feel that you're doing right?
Beating the better sailors, yes.
And how?
Luck.
Trying not to make mistakes, and luckily the other boats in the fleet did make mistakes, so never give up. Your opportunity might come.
Thanks now. It was a proper Cows Week day, I'd say.
That's it for today at Cows. Oh, we did mention rocks, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a proper Cows Week dust-up today with tankers. Some of the fleet ahead of us went the wrong way around it. We pointed out the error of their ways to them.
As a result, people can come back in one piece. It's good.
This is tight racing, isn't it?
Really tight, look at it.
In anything at Cows, it's getting a right team. All got to be good and gel together. Try and get them to bed early at night.
I have been researching and some of my favourite locations for research, and it is only research. It might be called the beer tent to other people, but it's where I go to work.
Cows Week, I'll never go anywhere else.
I'm just beginning to get the hang of things.
Nothing like a good Cows Week boat on boat.